Hello, can anybody see me? Hello, hello. I don't know whether anybody can see me. I'm trying to practice Facebook Live. I guess that people can write comments. This is really a practice because my publisher Moon Books has been asking its authors to do live Facebook video chats about their books. Now, mine isn't going to be happening until September, but it's something I wanted to do and something I've not done before. I have recorded some videos on YouTube and shared them to Facebook, but doing a pre-recorded video is a bit different from doing something live. Normally I have to do about 3 or 4 different takes and realise I've made some stupid blunder in the middle of it and have to do it all over again. So anyway, this is live, so if I make mistakes, that's it. It's going live. Now, what I'm going to do, I can see that John Davis is here, so I'm going to try and write a comment and see what happens. I'm going to say hello. Oh, hello. Hello, Richard. Hello, Richard. So I've seen a few people are here. I'm just going to wait for a few more minutes. Now, maybe not a few more minutes, a minute or two. Now, what I'm going to be doing today, just as a test, is to read a poem. Now, a few months ago, John and I were nicely settled down for the evening when we heard an almighty crash up in the attic. And so we went up into the attic to have a look at what had happened, and a huge bookcase that was storing mostly John's collection of comics from 20 years ago or so. They'd all come falling over, crashed onto the attic floor and gone everywhere. But among them, there was some poems that I wrote when I was about 18. And most of them are far too embarrassing for me to share. But there's one that isn't that embarrassing. It's the least embarrassing of the poems, and that's what I'm going to read. So there's a couple of people here. I'm just going to wait for a tiny bit longer before reading my poem. It won't take very long at all. There's probably more time me faffing and explaining what I'm doing than there is actually me reading the poem. Okay, well, there's a couple of people here, so I will start very, very soon. I mean, it's only a test, so 2 people watching is absolutely fine. Now, this poem, it's called The Fireside Cat of Reverend Jordan. The fireside cat of Reverend Jordan was not what he seemed on a Sunday morning, when parishioners gave him a pat or a stroke. He'd purr as though to some private joke, for who could know what vigils he'd keep, while the God-fearing vicar was fast asleep. Thomas Poole was a ghastly brat, who liked to tease the vicar's cat. He clipped its whiskers and pulled its tail, till the cat complained with a painful wail. Young Tom ran and laughed with his friends, but the cat was planning his dire revenge. When young Master Poole was tucked in for the night, the animal knew that the time was right. At the midnight hour, Tom woke with a start to a blood-curdling yowl which stopped his heart. With his hair stood on end and his jaw dropped aghast, that moment of shock was his very last. The very next day, at the first light of dawn, the Reverend covered his mouth for a yawn, then stroked the cat at the foot of the bed, and the animal purred as it raised its head. He took at its chin while he whispered a prayer. Of its deeds of the night he was quite unaware. Now all this happened a long time ago, but this isn't the end to this tale of woe. For one day the vicar began to suspect, and decided to put the cat to the test. As he went to the church with the cat in his arms, he prayed to God it would come to no harm. But a terrible fate befell him that night, for someone had left a fire alight. The flames were seen for miles around, as the church and the vicar were razed to the ground. When morning came and the fire died down, the people gathered from the nearby town. But they saw something strange when they made a search, a kitten alive in the ruined church. Okay, well, that's the poem, and I want to say thank you very much for listening to it. Can people say whether they could see me okay and hear me okay, and perhaps leave some comments? Okay. Um, I'm not going to read any more of my poems out, but at least maybe some other time, but not at the moment. Um, okay. John says he could hear me and see me okay. Tina says, cool, that's great. Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to end the video now. I think it'll probably stay on my feed, so if anybody wants to watch it later, they can. And thank you all very, very much for helping me test this. And bye bye.